He ain't about that life, man. He ain't clapping. Nah. You from your move. My name move.
Calumet Heights, where 4 people are now in the hospital after they were shot near 91st and Harper around 3 this morning. Take a look at the scene here. Lots of evidence markers, police cruisers, and tape here. So the 4 people were standing on the sidewalk when someone in a red car shot at them.
A second person has now been charged in the shooting death of a 12-year-old girl in Calumet Heights. Tyler Wright, who is 19, is charged with felony child endangerment resulting in death. The Sun-Times reports he was already on pretrial release for an unrelated weapons case. Police say Wright invited a group of kids between the ages of 12 and 14 over to his home. They were smoking, drinking, and passing around a couple of guns when one of them went off, hitting Delilah Beatty in the face. A 14-year-old boy has also been charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Sunday morning near 72nd and Paxton on this quiet block. Chicago police officers already patrolling the area at the time this happened, hearing the shots themselves.
Shots coming from inside of a house.
Neighbors in dispatch audio detail the sounds of people screaming as officers and medics work to save the victims. You can see CPR being performed on at least one of them.
Some more breaking news here at home. Police say a 29-year-old woman was shot and killed after a man she knew tried to rob her inside a home in South Shore.
Breaking this morning, gunfire shatters the front windows of this lounge and restaurant on the south side. The owner of Family Den in the Calumet Heights neighborhood says gunfire came from outside around 2:30 this morning while employees were inside cleaning up. Now, this is on Stony Island Avenue near 90th Street.
Chicago's gang landscape has been shaped by decades of shifting alliances, turf wars, and deeply rooted neighborhood histories. Among the lesser-known but historically significant street organizations is the Boss Pimps, a gang with origins dating back to the late 1960s. From their early days in Englewood to their lasting influence in Calumet Heights and South Shore, the Boss Pimps have carved out a distinct identity within Chicago's complex gang world. Though often overshadowed by larger factions, their legacy, independence, and cultural presence, especially through music, have kept their name alive for generations. This video explores the rise, evolution, and modern-day presence of the Boss Pimps. The Boss Pimps, originally known as the Manhattan Bostonian Pimps, were founded in 1968 in the Englewood neighborhood of Chicago. The group quickly expanded south to 65th Street and formed strong ties with the Falcon Disciples, which likely led them to join the broader Disciple Alliance that same year under the leadership of David Barksdale. In 1969, when the Disciple Alliance was formed, the Bostonians remained loyal to the Disciple Nation, while also holding deep respect for Larry Hoover and the Gangster Nation. Around this time, the group began relocating to Calumet Heights, specifically the 93rd Street corridor, where they became a major force near Joseph Warren Elementary School. This move marked the beginning of their long-standing presence in the area and solidified their alliance with the Gangster Disciples. By the 1970s, the Boss Pimps had also established territory at 79th and Constance in South Shore, covering an area from 78th to 79th, Stony Island to Jeffery. When the Folk Nation Alliance was formed in 1981, the Boss Pimps chose to remain independent rather than join either the BD Black Disciples or Gangster Disciples factions. In 1982, following Larry Hoover's introduction of Brothers of the Struggle, the Pimps joined the Disciples because they aligned with the Boss philosophy. However, by 1988, when they expanded into Jeffery Manor, tensions arose with local Gangster Disciples. This conflict led the Jeffery Manor faction to break away and reclaim their independence, while the original crews on 93rd and 79th remained loyal to the Folk Nation and Gangster Disciples. This turning point marked their rebranding from the Bostonian Pimps to the Boss Pimps, with Boss standing for Brothers of the Strong Struggle. During the 1990s, the Jeffery Manor Pimps were in conflict with the Gangster Disciples, while the 93rd Street faction peaked in power, controlling territory from Stony Island to Colfax. They successfully resisted incursions from rivals like the Black P Stones, Four Corner Hustlers, and Vice Lords.
Boss, we gon' shoot, Lil' Day gon' shoot, Lil' Chris gon' shoot, T.Y. not you, SVU too. Stop front, y'all move.
ChinWorld, also known as Boss Pimp City, is a Boss Pimps affiliated set based in the 93rd and Jeffery area of Calumet Heights. This set is known for its strong cultural presence, especially through music, with local rappers such as Boss Leak and Stunner representing the neighborhood. ChinWorld maintains a close alliance with CBG, also known as Meechie Gang, another Boss Pimp set based in South Shore. MujaGang, also known as LMB, is a group of younger affiliates often referred to as Boss Pimp Shorties. They are primarily active around 93rd and Luella, operating as a newer generation linked to the Boss Pimps. MujaGang originated through a close alliance between members of Boss Pimp 093 and the Crazy Harper set. The name Muja comes from a well-known Boss Pimp from 093 who was closely associated with Crazy Harper, solidifying the connection between the two groups. CBG, short for Constance Boss Gang and also known as Meechie Gang, is located at 78th and Constance in the South Shore neighborhood. This set traces its roots back to the original South Shore territory claimed by the Boss Pimps in the 1970s. Closely aligned with ChinWorld, CBG continues to represent the legacy of the organization in the area, while maintaining its own identity within the broader structure of the Boss Pimps. From their roots in Englewood to their peak along 93rd Street and South Shore, the Boss Pimps have maintained a unique role in Chicago's gang landscape. Their decision to remain independent of the major BD and GD factions while still operating under the Folk Alliance set them apart as a principled and self-directed organization. Despite internal splits and external threats, the Boss Pimps adapted and endured. Today, active sets like ChinWorld and Meechie Gang keep the name alive, blending street history with cultural expression through music and neighborhood influence. The Boss Pimps may not be the largest name in the city, but their legacy is one of resilience, respect, and deep Chicago roots.